Hey everybody, welcome to Review with Me, your review guide of shows, movies, and everything in between. Be sure to click the like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get on with this review. All right, y'all, let's go. Let's go. Ciao. Every episode review, we're starting off like that. Every episode review, we are starting it off like that. Because why? I just finished watching the latest episode of Married at First Sight. This is episode 16 from season 18. This episode is titled, The Experts Have Questions. And my goodness, every time I finish an episode, my body goes hot. My body goes hot. Okay, I'm feeling verklempt. Let's get into it. So we're back at the retreat house, of course. And remember, last episode, it ended with Madison hiding out in the bathroom, acting like she's using the toilet. When, ma'am, you sweating bricks. You are sweating bricks, Madison. And Michelle's right outside the door at the liquor store. Right outside the door. Like, hello? Yeah. You want to say something to me? You trying to speak, bitch? Like, she's confronted her finally because it has finally been revealed that her and David have developed a connection and it's something serious, or it's developing to become something serious potentially. So Madison comes out the bathroom door and she's like, are you going to listen to me or are you just going to come in guns a-blazing? Bitch! You better be lucky I'm not here to swing on your ass. Like, first of all, it's the audacity for me. It's really the audacity. And I think it's primarily because Madison doesn't even regard that her and Michelle had a friendship. And that's the point that Michelle is standing on. Like, look, Michelle, I get that we're all saying ever since the beginning, Michelle has been acting very nasty towards David. And David seems to be a good guy. And it's messed up that she has been treating him like he's less than. I get that. That is valid. And still, this was not deserving. This was not deserving for Michelle. And I don't agree that it's okay for her to experience this, or it's okay for her to like just, well, you never liked him anyway. Like, just so dismissive. I think it's just the principle here. And the principle here is David has been touting around talking about, I'm a great guy. I'm a great guy. I'm a hardworking man. I walk every day. I work. I'm loved by my family and friends. I'm a great Puerto Rican. I'm a great guy. David, no, because if you have to keep on repeating you're a great guy, shout out to Alyssa from whatever season that was, maybe you're not great. Maybe you haven't made great decisions. I don't want to shoot to his character entirely, because I do think there's a separate, I could go on and on about that, but the point is, no, that's BS. So anyway, so I just feel like Michelle is continually not getting the regard that I feel she is deserving of. And again, I see that, oh, well, she's not worth it. She's a trash human being. Still, her behavior was trash towards David in the beginning. I get that. And still, all of that, her and Madison were friends. According to what Michelle is saying, according to the bond that they, just developed casually at the very least, you didn't give me the grace to come to me as a woman. That bullshit, woman to woman. So Michelle is like, Madison is like, I like David. I like David. We have a connection, and what you gonna do about it, bitch? And I got these biceps, and yo, Madison was like, we have a connection, so what? So what? So what? It came to the detriment and the embarrassment of our respective spouses. So what? We have a connection. I see something there. I like our gym dates. Okay. David, mind you, they're in the bathroom. The door is open, of course, and this is all exploding one bit after the other. So everyone is kind of aware of what's going on. Not even kind of. Everyone is aware of what's going on. David is in the hallway, and he hears Michelle talking to Madison. And he's in the background. So after Madison says, I like David doing his freaking ad lib talking about, I like her too. I like her. Man, if you don't get the fuck out my face. It's the audacity for me. Because again, I'm going to keep on repeating it. Regardless of Michelle treating David, shitty in the beginning, the way that they kind of did her dirty. Let's be effing for real here. Let's be FFR. So David's in the background. He's giving his ad libs, talking about, I like Dave. I like her. I like her too. And I see something with her. She's my woman. You're not going to do anything about it. I want to be. Michelle's like, you know what? You need him to be your bodyguard or something? Do you need him to be your bodyguard or something? Because you can hush. I'm talking to Madison, your woman right now. I'm talking to her. Michelle is upset, of course. She walks out because not once during that little exchange did Michelle say anything. Look, I'm sorry. I did lie to you, because Michelle called her out like, yeah, I'm pissed. You lied to my face. And that's what it is. You did lie to my face. You did sit here in my face talking about, you could check my phone. There's nothing going on between us. We just go out to the gym. And he eats me out in the sauna room. But there's nothing between us. Ma'am, bye. So Michelle was like, I'm done. Y'all both are losers. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm out. So she goes to the room. She starts packing up her things. Mem goes into that same room with her, and Mem walking in with her granny. What's going on with her face? Maybe I didn't notice it from the beginning, but she has a granny face. Like, she's just always frowning. Her and Thomas had that same countenance with their lips, especially. Like, why are y'all frowning? Like it's just a weird thing. So Mem walks in. She does a slow walk to her and holds out a hug. Like, girl, Mem, back up, because both Mem and Carla throughout this retreat, I think they did some type of marijuana. I think they did some type of marijuana in the backyard, because their eyes look very, very low and dim, if you know what I mean. So Camille joins them. Camille's sitting there with her mouth open, like, like not saying anything. Throughout this episode, I was annoyed with Camille. You would think I'd be annoyed with, like, the obvious, right? The elephants in the room. No, it was Camille. Camille throughout this episode was a mute. She was a mute. Okay, she didn't speak much. She didn't really have an opinion. She didn't stand 10 toes down about anything. She's just kind of like, "Ooh, well, we gotta wait until the dust settles." Girl, did you just learn that phrase? The dust settle? What are we talking about? So, Camille does ask Michelle, how are you doing? Bitch, I'm upset. What are we talking about? Mem and Michelle, they do leave together. And I think primarily is because Mem and Michelle, they drove there together. So it was like, okay, bitch, you leaving, I'm leaving with you. So I did appreciate that from Mem. But still, in that moment, I feel like Camille was just corny. Like, she just, I don't know what other word is fitting here. Camille just didn't say much. So we get to Madison in her confessional. She's saying that she feels awful for Alan. I feel so awful. I feel awful for Alan. And she hopes that he understands. Girl, what? You hope that your husband understand you exploring a relationship with someone else. And this relationship has clearly gone the mile of being sexual. Let's keep it a buck. It's not about, oh, I just caught these butterfly feelings. Oh, I just, I'm having a crush on you, or I'm smitten by you. No, y'all fucked. Y'all fucked. Y'all fucked and y'all liked it. Y'all fucked and y'all liked it. So we get to the next scene. Camille and Tom is there in bed, and Camille's talking about, oh, I feel so safe in this home thanks to ADT. I'm about to throw this TV. I'm about to throw this. What are we? Stop. Pay your bills some other way. Why can't y'all just show a commercial for ADT instead of us having to suffer from these poor attempts of acting? Oh, Lord. Thomas says he feels let down by David, and basically he's disappointed. So Juan says to David, they're in the kitchen now, and Juan says to David jokingly, after offering him some coffee, David says, he doesn't drink coffee. Juan says, well, you better start drinking coffee now. Juan, can we, please wipe off that mustache. Just don't even shave it off. Wipe it off. Enough. Your jokes aren't funny. It's annoying. Well, you better start drinking. How does drinking coffee now help him in this situation? Will it help him to be more honest? Huh? Will it help him to have integrity? Juan, will David's coffee drinking attempt moving forward, will it help him to have integrity? Would it help him there? No, okay. Cut it out. So he's giving advice to David. He says, the way you went about this was foul, and whatever you guys decide to do, you and Madison, you have to realize that basically y'all started off on a bad note. And what would that look like as far as trust between y'all? Because if this is the foundation, can y'all really trust each other? Now, a lot of people will like to say that argument, right? Oh, if you date someone who you was cheating on your significant other with, whether you were the cheater or the cheatee, people be like, oh, how can you trust easily? Are we gonna keep it a buck? Cut it out. People in normal foundational relationships that didn't start off because of one cheating on a former person, they have trust issues just as much as someone else who started off a relationship because they cheated and they decided to explore this relationship. Like, people want to talk about it, but there are many couples out here. Hello? Many couples out here who have started their relationship off of cheating on their ex with each other. And they realize, you know what? This is right here where I want to be. And this is right here is where I want to explore and really continue with. People start off sometimes messy. Let's just call a spade. People start off sometimes messy. And that's why I feel like ultimately, keep your business to yourself. I know obviously this is a show and they signed up for this experience and they have to be held accountable on screen and by viewers such as myself. But if we want to pull this away from like the cameras and the lights and everything, this is a part of real life. These things happen in real life every day. Someone's getting cheated on, B. Every day. Every day. Now, I still stand with my opinions earlier as far as, sure, they went about it probably poorly, and sure, they could have handled it better. But with these sorts of things, humans are messy. When it comes to matters of the heart, when it comes to matters of lust, whichever one, people can be messy, and it is what it is. So we get to David and Madison. They're sitting on the same bed, child. That's how you know they explore something. beyond text messaging or gym dates. David's checking in on Madison. He says to her that basically he's kind of like proving himself. I don't know if y'all peeped. Did y'all peep this though? Throughout this episode, I felt like David was trying to prove himself to Madison. Like, okay, now that we are out in the open, I really want to show you that I have a lot to offer and I could be a good man for you. You know, just, I'm a good man, Savannah. I'm a good man. And I wrote down what do you have to offer? What? Your mama's basement? What do you have to offer, David? And it brought me back to a point when Dr. Pia was counseling David and Michelle. And Michelle was wondering, what type of provision can this man offer me? He lives at home with his parents. What are you talking about? And Dr. Pia was like, I mean, there are other types of provisions beyond financial. He could offer you emotional support. He could offer you mental support. Yes, and don't get me wrong, it is definitely helpful to have a man who is emotionally supportive and mentally supportive. You feel comfortable with him and he offers you a level of safety. All of that is good, but can you pay my bills though? Hello? Can you pay my telephone bill? Can you pay my automobile bill again? Can you pay that? Talking about I have so much. What is it? Tell me what is your plan? We're just gonna talk all day and share feelings? That's nice. And what else do you have to offer? Because in 2025, the eggs are $12.99. Not to make this political. This is not a political part of this channel. If you want more of my political opinions, check out my podcast, which is available here on YouTube. But still, the point is, David, please. Okay, so we get to, what happened? Okay, so Madison said I wanted this marriage to work out with Alan. I wanted this to work. Since when? All she wanted to do with Alan was go bike riding. All she wanted to do with Alan is go-kart riding. That's all she wanted to do. What are we talking about? So we get to Camille and Carla. And they're meeting with Madison. Madison tells them, because Carla was like, I didn't really get to see how everything went down the other night. Can you tell me what's up? Madison says, I have feelings for David, and this is a connection that we have, and it's strong, and it's, continuously developing. She's going on and on. Carla is looking at her like, bitch, I don't give a damn. She says, look, are y'all, what y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna be a couple now? What is this, your honeymoon? What the fuck is this? Carla was reading her down with this stank face. I was living in that moment. She kind of low-key read her. Camille again is being a mute. Camille sitting there with her mouth open. Girl, Camille, say something. Have an opinion. I think her and Thomas, they're made for each other because they both don't have an opinion. And yes, in the relationship, Camille is more of the dominant figure. But my goodness, they fade in the black for me. Like, they could have stayed in the background. So Madison says verbatim, we have an elevated friendship, referring to her and David. Madison said they have a what is that? Is that the new entanglement? Is that the new entanglement? What is that? What is that? I've never heard anyone describe anything regarding friendship as elevated. Okay. Carla says there's a million men out here and you choose him, and this is supposed to be a safe space, and we're all supposed to be supportive of each other in this journey. And I want to talk about that real quick. There's a million men out here. That's what Carla says. Is there? Can we talk about it? No, there aren't. We've been lied to, y'all. There's a lot of single women out here, and there are not a lot of single men. Can I say that again? There's a lot of single women out here, and there is not a lot of single men. There's always more women than there are men, just by numbers. Look at the numbers, y'all. Which is why men always have more options than women do. Which is why women oftentimes have to kind of accept the fact, oh, okay, well, my man has a girlfriend. Hello? My husband got a girlfriend. Hello? I'm sorry, we don't want to talk about that, but let's talk about that. So no, there aren't a million men out here. There aren't a million single men out here. Let's start there. There's not a million single men out here who may be interested in you. Let's start there. People think, oh, just because you're single and he's single, that means y'all should just be together. No. First of all, there has to be a connection, a chemistry, a desire, a want to be together. And if none of that is existing here, there's no hope. There's no way. Next, let's talk about the sexuality of these men. A lot of these men out here don't always like women. Hello? Is my mic on? A lot of these men out here do not like women, if you know what I mean. So now you have to deal with the possibility of your man doing something other than you and your gender. Let's talk about that. So no, the options are slim, honey. The options are slim. And then the fine men, a lot of them are incarcerated. So what? Either you want to be a pen pal, if you want to... Look, the options are slim. And it's not about having a scarcity mindset. It's not about that, y'all. There aren't a lot of men out here. A lot of fine, good-looking men. And if you want a man of a certain caliber, right? If you want a man who has a job... Ooh, you work? Okay. Shout out to Ready to Love. Seriously, but if you want a man with certain of a certain criteria, that's another smaller window. So, no, your pickings are slim. So, low-key, Michelle can't be mad at Madison. If she finds someone else, she better go ahead and hop on that. I'm not joking. I know I'm laughing. I am totally dead ass. So we get to Alan. Alan returns to the retreat house because, of course, his car was there when he left. He was not in a stable mind and body to drive his car home. So he got an Uber last episode. And now he's back to retrieve his car. He talks to the people there. Mind you, Madison didn't leave yet. Madison, did she leave yet at this point? No, okay, yeah, she did. Madison did leave. So literally right after she leaves, we see Alan coming back to the house. So that was funny. Like, okay, did they plan that? David stays. And David's hiding out because not once did David go downstairs. Not once did Alan try to find him. They just were avoiding each other. Alan is talking to the other folks, and he's saying how he felt destroyed by Madison, and primarily because he felt like there was this carrot of hope that she was dangling in front of him. And I do agree. I do think she made it appear that there was a sliver of hope, of a chance between them. But I also feel like Alan wasn't being effing for real. I do feel like Alan was romanticizing and being a little bit delusional. Let's keep it a buck. If you have to keep asking your spouse, hey, do you like me? Hey, do you want to be with me? Every hour by the hour, she doesn't. Hello? If you have to keep doing that, then that means you are not feeling rest assured and confident in your marriage. So that says a lot. So regardless of her lying to your face and making it appear as if, oh, there's a chance, she also made it very clear that no, she's not that into you. She said countless times, oh, I don't, forever was a long time. And when she said that, she never spent the whole night with you. She was always out with her friend Amanda and her girls, quote, quote. We'll get to that. But yeah, like not once did Madison really give him hope. He took false moments of hope and added them together and had this delusion response here of thinking that they could work out. So Carla gives him some advice and says, don't romanticize. Don't romanticize. When you have a gut feeling, when you have some instincts just hitting you, you have to follow through with that. They show him some sympathy. He then talks to Juan and Thomas. And my goodness, throughout this whole time, I was rolling my eyes. So my eyes was stuck. That's how much I was rolling my eyes, because Juan was talking about, oh, you gotta be the better man, and it's not even worth it, man. It's not even worth. It's not. Alan, if you don't wipe your stupid mustache, what are we doing? It is worth it. He's mad. It's worth it. Okay, he put in his time and effort. He put in his years with that bitch. Man, fuck that bitch. Yeah, it's worth it. Seriously. Juan has a way of dismissing your feelings, and he calls it positivity, when truly it's about him being toxic in his positivity. He's not being for real. So let's cut it out. Oh, it's not even. No, it was worth it for him, Juan. It was worth it for Alan. Alan was upset, rightfully so. So instead of you validating his feelings, instead of you saying, man, I hear you, that does hurt, I could only imagine, man, I'll be upset too, and I'm sorry this happened to you. Like, showing sympathy in that way, he thinks showing sympathy is saying, oh, well, be the better man. It was not even worth it. I'm happy you didn't let your anger get the best of you. I'm sick of y'all with that. No. We have to explore our emotions. We have to let our emotions actually be felt. But when it comes to like these dark if you're angry, don't be angry. It's not worth it. When you start to cry, stop crying. Stop. What? We have to do a better job being emotionally intelligent, because that's what it is. Like, when you're so quick to be like, wipe those tears and smile. Look at the bright. No, there's no bright side. Right now, there's no bright side. Sure, there will be. But right now, I'm feeling my feelings and I'm angry. I'm upset. Before Alan leaves, he's talking about, wait, real quick, y'all, real quick. Did they sleep on the same bed together? Alan, let's go. Alan, just drive off. Alan, drive home. Alan, just go. Okay, you will find someone much better, Alan. What else? Okay, so no, I think it's another part, because Alan, he's talking about how his mind was spiraling. Yeah, he asked if they sleep in the same room. He said, I think this clip, was it? There's a clip in this show, in this episode. Okay, that's later on. We'll talk about that in a bit, okay? Okay, so let's move on. David is now leaving. David finally leaves. He goes downstairs. He's talking to the rest of them, and he's like, I just want to apologize to y'all. I didn't mean for this weekend to turn out the way that it did. And he says, my family loves me. My friends, they love me. I'm a good person. The whole time, Carla's looking at him, or not looking at him, but her energy is clear that she doesn't give a damn. Carla doesn't give a damn. She has this stank eye, this stank energy. She's eating her chips and guac like, Negro, get out of my face. You can see that David senses it. He kind of doesn't even pay her any mind. As he's about to leave, he doesn't like go her way to hug her or give her a head nod or anything. It was clear that Carla was completely disapproving of it. And I felt like, I would have liked to have seen Carla said to him in that moment the same thing that she said to Madison regarding, y'all are grimy and, yada, yada, yada. But whatever. So we get to Michelle. Michelle is back in her home because, again, she been moved out of her shared apartment with David ever since he sent her that text by accident, the infamous "I want to eat you up" text. Michelle talks to Pastor Cal on the phone, and she's giving Pastor Cal the 411. Mind you, Pastor Cal, you already know. Y'all say this, these experts say all the time that, we're watching. We have surveillance on you guys. We're watching. And Pastor Cal's on the phone talking about, wait, what? Madison? David? What do you mean? Girl, Pastor Cal, cut it out. So anyway, Michelle's telling Pastor Cal the whole 411. He's sounding confused and bewildered. He says to Michelle, you didn't deserve this. You didn't deserve it. And he also mentions that, look, regardless of how you treated him in the beginning. So he recognized, yeah, you didn't treat him well. But still, you did not deserve it. And I do agree. You did not deserve it. And he emphasized that this was an 8-week marriage. It wasn't like y'all were married for many, many years and it was hard to deal with this stress in this marriage, so I had no choice but to cheat. One of those. No, this was 8 weeks, y'all. So I get that. So we get to Juancho. They're back at the retreat house. At this point, I thought everyone should have left the damn house. So Juancho, Carla, Camille, and Thomas, they're playing basketball. They're playing basketball, and it was just a annoying scene. Like, why are we watching this? Anyway, they're playing ball. What else? That's all I wanted to say. Juancho's walking around with his poncho. Enough. So we get to Alan. He actually visits Michelle at her home. As soon as he walked in, y'all, what did he say? He said, "Oh, you have a nice home. I like your home." He complimented her home. He gave a nice, heartfelt compliment rather than it reminded me of David, and when he met her at her house, and he was like, "Oh, this is cute. This is cute." And maybe that's because David, he has a way of not really articulating himself well. So maybe something about that too is a factor here. But nonetheless, I really appreciate that Alan complimented her home. Because, for so long, Michelle wanted someone to acknowledge her home and her efforts with her home. So Alan thanks her for her support. And he actually, they're seated at her, on her couch. And they're talking about suspicions that he's had. And it's all trickling down. Like it's all matching. All the puzzle pieces are coming together. And he says how it kind of started during the honeymoon. And the editor, y'all, whoever this editor is, can we get his name and number, the team name? I want to give them a treat. I want to cash out. I want to do something because, woo, they put a lot of pieces together. Remember that episode when Madison was coming home late? Night after night after night, and she wanted to lie in Dr. Pia's face, talking about, "Oh, I just did that twice a week, maybe once or twice a week." Yet in the footage, we see it happen 3 nights in a row, back to back. Okay. Also in this clip, we see that footage parallel, like side by side, to David coming home late as well at the same time, around 3:43, yada yada yada, around the same time, y'all. So you can't tell me y'all in the gym, it all started in the gym and I'm just on the treadmill for 45 minutes and I'm telling her about my life. No, y'all are fucking and it feels good. That's what's happening here. So What's his name? Alan mentions that David and Michelle, they were living right above them. So the convenience was there, of course. The access was there. The time and opportunity was there. What else? There's a part in the honeymoon too. It was literally the first day, y'all. Maybe the second day. No, I think it was the first day. They're all cheering to each other, and Madison gives this toast talking about looking up under her panties, something, and she looks at David while she does that. Y'all, this happened from the get-go. Okay? And I remember when David came back to the shared apartment that he had with Michelle, and he mentioned that he was at the gym with Madison, and Michelle pointed that out, like, oh, you was at the gym with Madison? Like, she pointed little things, and I remember that in the moment, but I just chalked it up to, because, throughout this season, we were given Easter eggs of, oh, there may be a couple that have an affair with each other, but I was trying to just watch it in live time. So there was that. I do also remember another time when Michelle called out David for, well, you came home late last night. Oh, we're clocking when we come home now. Oh, well, you came home late last night, to David. So all in all to say, this was not something that was quote unquote innocent and we were just texting and going to the gym. No, y'all have developed not just a connection, but y'all have been intimate. There's an intimacy there, because what Alan and Michelle talked about on her couch that moment in this scene, they said how the text message that David accidentally sent to Michelle about, you look so good, I want to eat you up, that proves that there was already a connection, not just a connection, but there's already an understanding of, I like how you taste. There was already an understanding that there is a sexual relationship here, because you don't just outright say to someone, oh, I want to eat you up, and y'all just have a little crush. Oh, we just have a little crush. No, you've been eating her out. You've been eating her out, David, and it's been happening since day one. Day fucking one. So Michelle gives Alan permission to be angry and hurt. And I just love that. She was like, no, it's good. You should feel those feelings. I will be upset too. And she was saying that to also say that she's been feeling hurt too. She's been feeling angry too, because she considered Madison a friend. And it's not even on the sense of like, I'm hurt because I really love David. But like, that's obvious, right? But she also felt hurt because that's obvious. That's not the case, right? So let's not even try to act like, oh, well, she's acting like she cared about David. No, that's not what it is. It's just a principle. It's the audacity. And she did consider Madison to be a friend. So the fact that Madison was dismissive throughout this episode, and what we see in a sneak preview for next episode and the last episode, like, Madison has been consistently dismissive towards Michelle, and she excuses it as, well, you never really liked him. You treated him like shit anyway, so what does it matter? Like, ma'am, come on. It's the audacity for me. Alan tells Michelle that Madison texted him and she said how, I know you don't even want to talk to me, but I do want to apologize. I'm sorry. And I hope that we could talk and yada, yada, yada. Alan responds and says, don't text me again, please. First of all, you didn't have to say please, but okay. And then he says, you hold no value in my eyes. Okay, Alan. I mean, you should have said bitch right there. Like, he should have added something. He should have added a little razzle. You should have said, bitch, what the fuck you, yo, hoe ass. Like, he could have went in, but, he's a gentleman. He didn't let his anger get the best of him. Shout out to Juan. But nonetheless, I did appreciate him even responding. I know he says he doesn't want to talk to her or see her ever again. But what I would have liked in this episode, and maybe we'll see it in a future episode, I don't know. I'm sure during the reunion, of course. But I would have liked to see, I would have liked to have seen Alan wanted to speak to Madison and tell her to her face, like, you are foul. What you did to me was foul. I didn't deserve that. You could have been woman, you know, like he could have politely, just as he was polite over text, he could have politely dismissed her ass in her face. And that's what would have been just a prize moment. I feel like that. Oh, man, I wish that would have been coordinated, but he was adamant he doesn't want to see her ever again. So I don't know if they will ever have a one-on-one with the experts, or definitely not with each other. But we'll see. Hopefully in the future, we'll see. So Thomas and Camille, they're finally packing up to go, because at what point, why are y'all here? Why are y'all still at the retreat house? They're still at the retreat house, y'all. They are still at the retreat house. Go home, Roger. Thomas calls out Camille and he says, you know, you said you had lingerie in your luggage there, and you said you was gonna take it out and let me see. But you know, with everything that happened, you didn't take it out. It stayed in your luggage. Camille. And I'm like, okay, Thomas, you better call her out, because she did this before. Camille is all talk. She is not this sex kitten that she tries to perceive or portray herself as. She is not that at all. So for her to have said that to him, that wasn't okay. That was not okay. I felt like, Thomas had enough. Like, ma'am, you did this during the honeymoon. And her excuse then was, oh, well, I realized, it's still too early in our marriage for me to do that. So I'm going to just wear my overalls instead to bed. Okay. And then her excuse now is, well, with everything that happened and the energy wasn't right in this house. So let's just wait until after decision day. And Thomas says, okay, so I guess that's my incentive to wait after a decision. It was definitely an awkward moment, because he called her out on her shit. You've done this time and time again. Enough. If you're not going to show me your fancy lingerie, your sexy lingerie, don't act like you're about to. Don't tease me. Oh, don't tease me, child. Don't tease me. So finally, both Thomas, Camille, and Carla and Juan, they finally leave the retreat house. And I think Juan said, oh, we're the final four. Juan, bye. You're not going to marry or say yes to Carla. Cut it out. And vice versa. So we get to Alan. He's back at the shared apartment that he had with Madison. And he's packing up his things. He's leaving. But he is not leaving without a bang. He is not leaving without a bang. What does Alan do? Alan rips up their wedding pics. He breaks the Mr. and Mrs. Mugs that they had. He burns her wedding vows to him. Literally puts it on flames over the stovetop. He did a lot. He did a lot. Now, I know we said Alan. I know I said just a moment ago. I know I said he should be allowed to feel his feelings and call her a bitch and all that. But that was a lot. That was a concerted effort. That's what it was. Well, I mean, whatever. It's fine. I think also it still would have been nice. Like, he has all this energy in her back. That's what I'm saying. Ooh, let's go there. Let's go there, Maxine. Let's go there. That's what I'm saying. Alan has all this energy behind Madison's back. Not once does he call her out. I mean, okay, that one time at the gym, but that was finally like that. Oh, it was finally, a final, it was bound to happen. But I think it would have been more respected if Alan told her to her face, what you did to me was foul, and I don't see value in you. I don't think you're a good, I don't know, but you lack integrity in mind. Like, he should have reeled her or ripped her a new one in her face, to her face, in her face, around her face, but it should have been the same proximity is my point. And what I don't like is Alan, I think he kind of proves Madison's initial impression of him, which was she feels that he lets people walk all over him. And that's the truth. That's exactly what happened here. It's literally, they wrote this out themselves. Oh, Lord, life is so funny. They wrote this out themselves. But yeah, I think Alan should have had that same energy in front of her. Not to say he needed to throw things in front of her. That would be, that would have been abusive. Don't want that. But at the very least, he should have had a conversation with her in person, at least with the experts present. That would have been more respectable. But instead, let me go ahead and break a glass. Let me go ahead and break a glass, y'all. Okay, we're not done. There's more. I hope you are liking this video, these reaction videos, these review videos for Married at First Sight, and also my other review videos. Also, check out the podcast that I have here on this YouTube channel. And I'm saying it like that because not everyone is aware that I have other content here. So check out my channel and make sure you are subscribed. But I'm really appreciating the comments and the reaction, the engagement. Y'all are really enjoying this. So continue to share your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear from y'all. Let's continue. So David, he meets with his friend. This friend, they could have threw this scene out. David admits to his friend that he's been falling for Madison, and he says that Madison admitted she liked him while they were at the retreat. And I'm sick of David playing in our faces, making it seem as if he and Madison didn't already know what was up. He's talking like he was shocked. Like he was shocked that she could like me, and I never knew. There was a connection, but I never knew she was flirting with me back. I never knew that I actually ate her pussy. I never knew. David, bye. This whole time, his friend's like, if you want to pursue something with her, then you should. And look, granted, if you want to pursue something with her, then do it. Whatever. But I think in that moment, it would have been nice had his friend said, man, I get it. Feelings happen and yada, yada, yada. But the way you went about it probably wasn't the best. And I hope you plan to speak to Alan and Michelle and respectfully let them speak to you. Let them have it. Let them have it against you and apologize and all these things. But like, his friend didn't say anything. His friend did not hold him accountable at all. Like, okay. We get to Madison. Madison is back at the shared apartment. Mind you, Alan has packed up his shit and left. Not only that, but he threw everything out. Everything is thrown around. The wedding pictures are cut up. Her wedding vows are burnt up. Everything is messed up for her to. Because in that moment, I was thinking, does this mean that Madison has to clean this up? Because first of all, that's petty, right? But I mean, whatever. I guess that's just her get back. So she calls her friend Amanda. Finally, we get to hear this Amanda girl. She's not a figment of her imagination. Amanda exists, y'all. Amanda exists. So she calls Amanda. She tells Amanda that, yeah, he burnt my wedding vows. He ripped up the pictures. The mugs, our Mr. and Mrs. mugs are broken and cracked, and they're in the kitchen sink. She's telling Amanda everything. Amanda says, oh my gosh, he's a psycho. Girl, now we're going to paint Alan a psycho. No. And here's the thing. In this scene, sure, her friend says, this is how you should approach Alan. Apologize and say that you didn't mean to hurt him and yada, yada, yada. And, Madison was expressing that that's what she wants. She wants to speak to him. She wants to explain what happened and her side of the things, and she wishes that she would have told Alan the moment she felt feelings for David. But, you know, things didn't work out like that and all these things. But I guess I want to harp on the fact that her friend called Alan a psycho. And I think it just speaks to sometimes with your friends, they're blind to the impact you had on other people. Like, they're so loyal to you as a friend that you could do nothing wrong in their eyes. Instead of her saying psycho, I felt like Amanda could have said, dang, I bet he was really mad. Man, girl, you really hurt him. How you gonna do the, you know, like, there could have been something else that she should have said, but in that moment, okay, the easy thing to do is call him a psycho, call him crazy, and say, you know, you dodged a bullet, girl. You better find love with David. No, I don't know. I didn't like that. I did not like that. So now we got to Akechi and Amem. Remember Akechi, y'all? Remember Akechi? So Akechi and Amem, you know, first, of course, Amem walks in first. She's meeting with the experts. And then finally, Akechi walks in. And as soon as he walks in, the energy, of course, shifts. He's already just like looking like he just woke up from a nap again, wiping the crust out of his eyes and the side of his mouth. He barely greets anyone. As soon as he walks in, he looks around like, do you not know who you're coming in to be with right now? He barely says anything. Dr. Pepper had to be the one to say, well, come on in. Hello. Like, she had to greet him. He walks in mute. Oh my gosh. For him to be this Southern guy, he's from Atlanta. He really holds no Southern values, Southern hospitality, none of that. You don't just walk into a room and not speak. Who raised you? Ooh, it's just gross. He's gross. So yeah, the energy shifted when he walked in. Dr. Pepper brought up to him, you know, you brought the divorce paper to Amem at the retreat. You did that. Why did you think that was okay to do? And Amem says that, yeah, he brought it in to embarrass me, and he's BS. Akechi claims that he apologized to her. And I wish I would have seen that moment, because I don't know if that's true. Amem didn't deny it, so let's assume that it was true. But it would have been nice to have seen Amem say, oh, well, you know, after he gave me the papers, he sent me a text, or he called me, or we met up. Well, not met up, but he called me or he texted me and apologized for doing so. Like, none of that happened. And Akechi in that moment wanted to make it seem like he was trying to acquiesce to what Dr. Pepper was saying. Yeah, you know, her feelings are valid and I apologize. Like, what? Really? You conveniently apologize? Okay. So now it gets to Amem. Amem reads her final letter to Akechi.
I wanted to write a letter on the ending of this, and I titled it Letter to My Departed. I committed to this process and was prepared to see this through. However, you've been unstable this entire marriage. Your perception is your reality. However, your reality is not based in fact. You are embarrassing. I would wish you well, but I'm God's favorite, and my well wishes won't be what gets you any further than where you are in your life. I wish you nothing but the worst. As a parting gift, I have prepared a list of therapists local to you. Also attached is documentation on how to properly complete a dissolution of marriage application, since your single page was not legitimate. And you could take care.
She read him for filth. Literally and figuratively. She read him for filth. And you felt in the room like, whoof. Like, it was awkward. It was tense. It was a lashing. And Akechi didn't get up and leave in that moment. He just was assaulted. He took it. He took it like a man, right? He took it like a man. I think he said in that, no, he didn't say in that moment, but his face said in the moment that, okay, you see what I'm talking about? You see, she's crazy. He said, like, he showed that in that moment. And then when he finally got up and leave, Dr. Pia she gave him this heartfelt hug, like, man, I'm so sorry. Like, it felt like she was apologizing on behalf of Amem for what Amem read to him. And I'm just like, Dr. Pia, what is going on? She's weird. She's so weird. One second, she's kind of chastising Akechi, but then another second, she's upset with Amem for reading Akechi. So Akechi goes out, he leaves, he's in the streets and he says, you know, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about with her. It's her. She, you know, her energy, and she always this is what I've been dealing with. This is what I was talking about. And I felt like he thought he was validated. I felt like he thought he was validated. Like, oh, see, like, and I didn't like that. And then it made me think back to the letter and what was said, how it was delivered and all of that. Yes, Amem read him for filth, but I think because Amem is not quick to cry and break down and say her feelings and lead with feelings. Remember, that was the advice that was given to her. Because she doesn't do that naturally, and she's very like scientific and analytical and all these things, she doesn't express herself like that. She expresses herself very, very curtly. Okay. So he leaves. Amem's still seated on the couch. She said, I feel good. I feel good about that. Dr. P is like, really, Amem? That was pretty harsh. That was pretty. Dr. Pia. I don't know. Dr. Pia, I feel like she never really liked Amem. I think Dr. Pia has never been a fan of Amem. And regardless of how Akechi has treated her, Dr. Pia feels like any response from Amem is either not good enough or just not good enough. Like, it's either or. It's the same thing. Not good enough or not good enough. Oh, how come you didn't reach out to him while he was away at the Houston homecoming? Because he said he was going to reach out to me and he hasn't, Dr. Pia. What? Oh, well, you should lead with your feelings and you should, you should just like let him lead. Okay, but he doesn't talk to me. It's just weird. It's weird. All right, so we finally get to the final scene here. David and Madison, they meet with the experts, and Madison is talking to the confessional by herself, talking about she does not want to be told that she was wrong and that she's a bad person. And look, I don't think that she's a bad person. I don't really believe in the whole, like, you're a bad person unless you did something heinous. But this is really not heinous. You know what I mean? But as far as she not wanting to be told that she did something wrong, I do think she did something wrong in the sense of how things were handled. It's one thing because she keeps on saying you can't help who you like and you can't help the attraction, and sure, but then at the same time, no, right? I don't think that's a true statement to say. I think that's a lazy statement to say, because sure, you may find yourself attracted to other people outside of your significant other. That is very real and is honest. But that doesn't mean you have no control over your actions and that you just can't help yourself but to explore this attraction that you have for this other person outside of your significant other. So it's a poor excuse. Anyway, Madison and David, they meet with the experts. David and Madison hug. David enters the room. He hugs his wife. Oops, I'm sorry. He hugs Madison. Oops. Excuse me. He hugs Madison. David talks about how it all started. They say this bullshit. I bet they rehearsed this story. It started at the gym. You know, we were just lifting weights, and then I just ate her pussy. It just started at the gym. I ate her pussy at the gym. That's how it started. That's how and where and when it started, at the gym. Okay. The experts looking at them like, these what? You playing in our face, really? Pastor Cal asked them right out, have y'all been intimate? And of course they deny it. Dr. Pia is laughing like, I can't sit here and watch y'all laugh. First of all, Dr. Pia, please. You want to talk now? Where was your energy at when Akechi was doing what he was doing towards a mem? You sitting there looking all stupid and quiet. But anyway, in this moment, yeah, I felt the energy. I understand the reaction, but please have that same reaction for another couple. So they're, of course, denying the intimacy. They're bringing up the text like, okay, how you say y'all don't have any intimacy or y'all didn't have any intimacy? David's trying to chalk it up to, I mean, is hugging an intimacy? Yeah, if your dick is hard and you letting her suck on it, yeah. Yes, it's a little bit intimate, David. What are we, hello? What are we talking about? So they're denying it, but the experts are saying there's no way in hell you text her this text of you look so good, I want to eat you up, and y'all didn't have some type of relationship before this text that included sexual intimacy. Miss me with that. You don't just say that to a person outright who you just kind of like. Oh, our hands grazed each other on the deadlift equipment. Like, no, that's not it. Let's cut the crap. So of course they're denying it. Madison says, oh, well, I never received the text, and had I received it, I would have said, what are you doing? What are you talking about? What? Bye. Girl, bye. You would have said that? So now Pastor Cal, he comes in with a 20 hitter, whatever that means in weapon talk. He comes in with the bang, bang, and he's talking about, are you sure this isn't a rebound emotion? Because let me remind you, Madison, what you said to us several times when we asked, what's your racial preference? Because this is marriage, and we don't experiment with, you've only dated or seriously exclusively dated white men, and you're open to dating, and then we suddenly match you with a black husband. Okay, so he brings that up to say, Madison said she prefers white men when it comes to marriage. Okay. And he says, well, because, David isn't white. He's Puerto Rican. Okay. Let's keep it there. And you want to call him black, but he's Puerto Rican. And he's a person of color, basically. He's a person of color, and you would have never, there's no chance in hell would you have approached him or given him a second of your time in real life outside of this experiment if you saw him at the bar. And I was like, God. He had her at a corner. He had her cornered. Like, you know damn well you want to give this gorilla motherfucker. Not to be racist. I'm a black woman. I can say that. But you would have given this gorilla motherfucker a chance in hell. You would have given this gorilla motherfucker a chance in hell, bitch. Y'all, I was clutching my pearls. Like, damn, is he calling her racist, low-key? But everyone has their racial preference. I don't think it's racist, but that part's a joke. But yeah, so anyway, Madison says, I mean, yeah, sure, yeah, I guess you could say that. But all in all, Pastor Cal is saying this to say this isn't anything. This is a rebound. This was a proximity type of sexcapade that y'all encountered. That's what it was. So you mean to tell me you hurt several people in the process because of this rebound emotion? Because y'all were experiencing misery in your respective marriages, but you know damn well, Madison, you wouldn't approach this man if you were given $100? Okay. Oh Lord, he called her out, and that was a cringe moment. And he's too dumb to realize what happened here. He's sitting there lounging, slanting, and didn't realize to his face he's been called ugly. He didn't realize to his face that this bitch right here, whose pussy you've been eating, this bitch right here, she does not care for you. Okay, she's not really into you like that. You are, a lustful advantage for her. You are a lustful opportunity for her. But as far as something serious, nah, son, you better walk away now. But David, dumb as hell, he then goes on to say, I never thought about her being a rebound emotion. I never thought about that. Madison quickly denies that, like denies it being a makeup of a rebound emotion. She said that doesn't seem to be that's not the case. That's when the whole racial preference conversation came about, and I think Pastor Cal proved his point. Then David thought it was appropriate. Well, not appropriate. Actually, Dr. Pepper asked a question. So where do we go from here? Basically, like, what are y'all plans? Then David says how he wants something serious with her, and he's smitten with her, and he speaks to her directly, face to face, eye contact, talking about, I really like you, and I want to be with you, and I want to give everything to you. I'll give you my last leg, Madison. I want you. And remember, David has always wanted the validation of a white, blonde-haired woman. That's his preference. So he's shooting his shot. She's an attractive woman, and he's going to put all his eggs in this basket. And what does Madison say in response? I just don't want to rush anything. Yo, this is gonna be a joke. Now the conspiracy is they're still together. They're still, whatever it is, whatever it looks like. I don't know if they're married now or engaged now, but at the very least, there are pictures that show that they're still hanging out together. So maybe they're in a relationship and they're official, boyfriend and girlfriend. So who knows? But I think it's just funny because David didn't realize in this moment that Madison was basically calling him ugly. She would never go out with a black guy or anyone who's of color. And he's sitting back like, well, I found you smitten. I'm finding myself to be smitten with you. And there we have it, y'all. That's how this episode ends. Let me know what y'all think. Ew, it's a child. I need to drink this salsa water. It's a lot. Let me know what y'all think. Share it in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.